Whitney and I were real friends, and you hear that. People felt that. And I could cry now thinking about it. Seeing how God carried my parents through that, losing a child. Yes, I saw the tears, but they never went into a deep depression. But he understood the power of praise. So when I'm going through a rough time, a challenging time, I know even if I'm crying, I cry with my hands lifted.
CeCe Winans has had enough and is about to reveal all, shaking off the secrets that have haunted her for years. When she invited a friend to appear in her latest video, she knew they might hesitate, as they had turned her down before. Now, as she approaches 60, the whispers about her have reached a tipping point, driving her to come clean. What pushed her to this edge? Let us dive into what CeCe Winans is desperate to expose, the strange path of CeCe Winans. CeCe Winans expressed to her friend her desire for their participation in the video, despite knowing the reluctance that might follow. Her prediction proved accurate, as her friend quickly confirmed the hesitation, referencing a previous song they had declined to sing, setting a precedent for their current decision. This exchange underscored a gentle acknowledgment of their differing artistic choices, emphasizing the respect they held for each other's boundaries within their collaborative space. As the conversation unfolded, the room grew silent, punctuated only by the distant hum of the city outside. Now at 59, she's making headlines for a different reason. For a long time, there have been whispers and rumors about her, but now she is ready to set the record straight. What led her to this moment, and what does it mean for her future? Let's dive into the details of her surprising revelation. Her parents were overjoyed when she arrived. They already had 7 sons: David, Ronald, Marvin, Carvin, Daniel, Michael, and Benjamin, known as BB. She was followed by 2 more daughters, Angelique and Debbie, completing their family. No one is quite sure how she got her nickname, but it likely came from her close bond with her grandmother, Laura House. Her grandmother called her sister from the time she was born, and this nickname eventually became her well-known moniker. It was a name that would become synonymous with a powerful gospel voice. Her grandmother had a huge influence on her, often reminding her, "God's got his hands on you. Just keep your hands in his, and you'll be fine." Her parents, David and Dolores, were very religious and deeply committed to their family. Their faith guided everything they did, including raising their 10 children. David worked hard as both a barber and a taxi driver, while Dolores was employed at Metropolitan Hospital. Despite their humble means, their home was always full of love, faith, and music. Music wasn't just a hobby in the Winans household, it was a way of life. Both parents were passionate about gospel music. They met in 1950 as members of the Lemon Gospel Chorus in Detroit. This love for music and their unwavering faith shaped their approach to parenting. She grew up surrounded by gospel music. It filled their home on Woodingham Street in Westside Detroit. At just 7 years old, she sang "Fill My Cup" for her church congregation, marking her first public performance. Although she was naturally shy, her singing showed a surprising strength. For those who knew the Winans, this was expected. Singing was a daily part of their lives, a way to connect, bring joy, and make sense of the world. Her mother sang while cooking, and her father joined in with harmonies as he got ready for Sunday school. But that wasn't the only way music shaped their lives. Christmas at the Winans home was special, not because of gifts, but because of a yearly concert they hosted for the community. Held at Mercy Hall, this concert was a true celebration of the Christmas spirit and grew in popularity every year. Throughout her life, she has balanced her public persona with her personal faith. She's faced both praise and criticism, but she's always stayed true to who she is. Now, as she steps forward to clear up the rumors, we see a woman ready to embrace her truth, no matter the consequences. What comes next may surprise you. Stay with us as we continue to explore the remarkable journey of her life. Together, they released their first big album, Lord Lift Us Up, which became a huge success and went platinum. Their appearances on TV helped make them even more popular. Meanwhile, her other siblings were also making their mark in music and religious work. Her oldest brothers, David, Ronald, Marvin, and Carvin, formed a gospel group that received a lot of praise, and her brother Daniel began a solo music career. Marvin even founded a large, successful church in Detroit. CeCe's life was about to change again, paving the way for more adventures. The balancing act of a gospel legend. At 19, her personal life took a surprising turn when she married Alvin Love, who was quite a bit older than her. Alvin was a friend of her brother Ronald, and they first met during a casual family bowling outing. That meeting sparked a romance, and soon after, she moved back to Detroit with Alvin, which meant putting her music with BB on hold for a while. During this time, she focused on her new family life, but didn't let go of her career. She finished her beauty school education and opened a salon with Alvin, where her father also worked as a barber. Even with these new responsibilities, she still found time to perform with BB occasionally. But this wasn't the end of her musical journey. In the spring of 1985, she welcomed her first child, a son named Alvin III, just as the demand for her and BB's music was growing. To be closer to the heart of the gospel music industry, Alvin moved his job to Nashville, allowing her to join BB and focus more on their music together. Their partnership blossomed both at home and in their careers. Alvin played a key role in managing and supporting her musical work. Their close friendship and shared spiritual beliefs strengthened their bond. In 1987, they had a daughter, Ashley Rose. Even as her fame grew, she always felt that being a wife and mother were her most important roles, something she learned from her parents' values of faith and family. She continued making music with BB, and their albums like CeCe and BB in 1987 and Heaven in 1988 gained them even more fans in both gospel and Christian music circles. But the real turning point came in 1991 with their album Different Lifestyles. This album not only solidified their place in Christian music, but also caught the attention of mainstream listeners. Songs like Addictive Love and I'll Take You There became hits and showed the world her powerful voice and heartfelt delivery. But this wasn't the whole story. Looking back, she often reflects on how unexpected their success was. They had just sung a song for a Christian TV network in Charlotte, North Carolina, without any big plans in mind. Their performance of Lord Lift Us Up, which was a new take on a love song, was so well received that it led to many church performances and eventually recording deals. She and BB hadn't set out with a specific plan, but their natural talent and connection with their audience helped them leave a lasting mark on music in countless lives. Starting out as a duo wasn't something they planned, but the high demand for their shows naturally pushed them in that direction. As CeCe Winans' popularity grew, she stayed humble, keeping her focus on family and her faith. She didn't seek fame just for the spotlight. She saw her music as a way to share her beliefs and make a positive impact on others. Even with the busy life of a performer, she found her greatest joy in being a wife and mother. She often said that while she loved performing, her true happiness came from her family and the quieter moments in life. Her solo career began after she found success performing with her brother, BB. Her solo journey took a big step forward in 1995 with the release of her first album, Alone in His Presence. This album wasn't just a success for her, but also a significant moment for gospel music as a whole, becoming one of the few gospel albums to sell over 1 million copies. It was not only a commercial hit, but also earned her a Grammy and 2 Dove Awards, including Female Vocalist of the Year. More challenges were coming, testing CeCe's strength and determination. The rise of gospel's golden voice. Building on this success, in 1998, she released another album, Everlasting Love, which went gold and featured some of her most popular solo songs like Well All Right and Slippin'. This album mixed soulful gospel with modern sounds, showing off her ability to blend genres while staying true to her roots. One of the standout tracks was produced by Lauryn Hill, adding a unique R&B flavor to the mix. But that wasn't the only big move she made that year. She also released a Christmas album, His Gift, which showcased her love for the holiday season and her desire to spread messages of hope and joy. His Gift included a festive collection of songs that resonated with many listeners. Then, in 1999, she made a bold decision to start her own record label, Pure Springs Gospel. This move gave her more creative freedom and allowed her to support other gospel artists. Under her new label, she released Alabaster Box, a deeply personal project featuring contributions from gospel greats like Fred Hammond and the a cappella group Take 6. The album was both a critical and commercial success, solidifying her reputation as a strong solo artist. The next year, she celebrated her musical journey with a concert VHS, Live at the Lambs Theater in New York, which featured live performances of her earlier hits. In 2001, she released a self-titled album, CeCe Winans, which included the single, Anybody Wanna Pray, a collaboration with the Christian rap group Grits, and the crossover hit Say a Prayer. But that wasn't the end of her story. After taking a short break, she returned in 2003 with the album Throne Room, which marked a shift in her focus toward worship and spirituality. The first copies of Throne Room included a bonus CD with exclusive interviews, behind-the-scenes content, and a music video for More Than What I Wanted from her 2001 album. To support the album, she embarked on a 25-city tour with the gospel group Anointed. What made this tour special was that it offered free admission, allowing her music to reach an even broader audience. A DVD of the tour, Live in the Throne Room, was later released, capturing the powerful performances and the spiritual energy of the concerts. In 2004, she began feeling sick with what seemed like the flu, but soon it became clear that her condition was much more serious. She had a severe stomach infection that needed immediate medical care and surgery. This unexpected health problem forced her to postpone the second half of her Throne Room tour. The next year, she released her seventh studio album, Purified. This album was particularly special because it was a family effort. Her nephew, Mario Winans, and her son, Alvin Winans III, helped write the songs. Her younger sisters, Angie and Debbie Winans, also sang on the album. This made Purified a real reflection of her personal challenges, her strong faith, and her deep family bonds. But that wasn't the end of her impact. She didn't just stick to gospel music. Her duet with Whitney Houston, Count on Me, from the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, showed just how far her reach could go. The song became a big hit, reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 4 on the Adult Contemporary chart. It also hit number 8 on the Billboard R&B Singles chart and was certified gold in the US. This collaboration with Whitney showed that she could connect with fans across different music styles, reinforcing her reputation as a versatile artist. She didn't stop there. She kept making music that spoke to many different listeners, both in gospel and mainstream music. In 2008, she released her 8th album, Thy Kingdom Come, which featured the powerful single, Waging War. This album was another example of her unique ability to create songs that not only uplifted people spiritually, but also touched them on a deeper emotional level. As CeCe faced new trials, her journey took even more meaningful turns. CeCe's journey through fame and faith. But her story doesn't end here. In fact, she continued to grow and evolve, proving again and again that her music could reach beyond boundaries and touch lives in unexpected ways. She also took on the role of a mentor. From 2012 to 2014, she was a judge on BET's Sunday Best, a gospel music competition. There, alongside BB, she helped guide new gospel artists, sharing her knowledge and experience. But things haven't always been smooth for her. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a lot of talk about her involvement in some government ads. It was rumored that the Trump administration wanted to use celebrities in ads to help keep the public calm, and her name came up. This news caused quite a stir among her fans and the public. People started wondering if she was supporting a controversial political figure. As the buzz grew louder, CeCe decided to clear things up. She took to Twitter and shared a video explaining that she had indeed spoken with U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams, but their discussion was only about public health measures like wearing masks, not about politics. In the video, she was open and honest, focusing on encouraging safety and health to prevent more deaths from the virus. She ended her message by asking everyone to take care of themselves and their families, and added a heartfelt, "God bless you." Through this, she wanted to make it clear that her role was all about caring for people's well-being, not about taking sides in politics. But this wasn't the only time she faced rumors. Throughout her career, there have been many talks about her views on various topics in pop culture. This shows how public figures often have to deal with all kinds of gossip and speculation about what they think or do in their private lives. In 2021, a video came out of her giving a talk at Highland College Chapel. In her talk, she focused on how to live a life that makes God happy and avoid what she called negative influences. During this talk, she shared a story about her late friend Whitney Houston. Whitney was preparing to shoot a music video for the song, I'm Every Woman, and asked her to join her in the video. However, she chose not to participate because she felt the song's lyrics didn't fit with her religious beliefs. She was especially concerned about the part of the song that mentioned casting spells, which she did not want to sing. This story sparked a lot of discussion about how her faith influences her career choices. During the same talk, she also shared her thoughts on some types of music, describing certain rhythms as demonic and warning people about the spiritual dangers of listening to them. These comments created quite a buzz, with some people saying her views were too strict or judgmental, while others respected her for standing by her beliefs. But this wasn't the end of the conversation. Despite her strong opinions on music, her friendship with Whitney Houston remained a point of interest for many. In a 2021 interview with Entertainment Weekly, she spoke warmly about their friendship. She described Whitney as a true friend who often came over to relax and go to church with her. This showed how close they were and cleared up any rumors that her religious beliefs might have caused tension between them. CeCe's experiences continued to inspire as she faced the future with faith, the quiet strength of faith in the face of loss. In July 2024, she opened up about a deeply personal story that sparked even more conversations about her faith and her personal life. She talked about her father's recent death and a significant event involving her brother's passing. She remembered her father's deep commitment to his faith, sharing memories from her childhood of waking up at night to see him anointing their heads with oil and praising God. As a child, she found these moments strange, but as she grew older, she came to appreciate the value of worship and praise. But this wasn't the only thing she shared. This reflection on her family's strong faith gave people a deeper understanding of how her religious beliefs shape her life and work. As she continued to open up about her experiences, it became clear how her background has been a guiding force in the choices she makes today. Her story began with a heartbreaking moment, the day her brother, Ronald, passed away. She described standing by his side in the hospital with their family, watching as he took his last breath. Even in this deep sadness, her father raised his hands in prayer, thanking God for the time they had with Ronald. This moment sparked many discussions about how her family faced their grief and their strong faith. Some people admired their courage and their ability to hold on to their beliefs during such a painful time, while others wondered if it was right to respond this way after losing a son. She shared how these experiences shaped her own way of dealing with life's challenges. She explained that in tough times, even when she's crying, she finds comfort and strength by praying with her arms wide open, focusing on the greatness of God. She remembered another moment when Ronald had a massive heart attack and doctors pronounced him dead. Before accepting the final verdict, her father asked for a moment to pray. Miraculously, after they prayed, the doctors managed to bring Ronald back to life. As time went on, she built a life that was much more than her role as a gospel singer. She became known as a dedicated pastor's wife, a loving mother, and a proud grandmother. Her journey took her from being a judge on BET's Sunday Best to releasing new music, all the while continuing to inspire people through her songs and her spiritual messages. In 2017, she released her 10th studio album, Let Them Fall in Love, which was a big success and earned her 2 Grammy Awards. Her career continued to rise with the release of her first live worship album, Believe For It, in 2021, which won her 3 more Grammy Awards in 2022. This solidified her status as a leading figure in gospel music. Her recent single, Goodness of God, released in September 2022, further demonstrated her significant impact on the music industry. Through the years, her career has been filled with numerous awards, including 15 Grammy Awards from 31 nominations, highlighting her remarkable impact on gospel music. But her story isn't just about success. It's about how she has touched people's hearts and lives through her faith, her music, and her unwavering spirit. What do you think is the secret to her sustained success in the competitive music industry? Comment your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights.